Okay, so continuing with command line, we know that in Windows, directories start from a root, which in Windows is your drive C, and then in Macintosh they start from the Macintosh hard drive. All the files are here. Now there are different kinds of files. Some are shortcut to get you places. So for example, this little house in the Mac is a shortcut to my home directory. See, that's my home directory. I can get there from a Macintosh hard drive if I navigate users and then this name, right? Look how the blue that's highlighted Macintosh hard drive is going to change, right? It changed to FD Jacobi. So I just navigated here, okay? But this, if I just click here, that's a shortcut that will take me there. In the same way, you have shortcuts here. For example, this documents will take you to some document directory, okay? So it's easy to go places like this. Now, let's look at the command line. On Windows, you should go to your search bar and search PowerShell, the word PowerShell. On the Macintosh, go to your search bar with a little magnifying glass and type in terminal, and then you will open on Windows, you will open something like this. You'll open something like this, the PowerShell, which has this little, we call this the prompt. And on the Macintosh, you will open something like this. I mean, mine has the transparent background, but sorry. And then on the Macintosh, you should see something like this. Okay? So, notice a few things here. Where are you in this tree directory? Now you are, in a way, you're not exactly doing this, but in a way, you have a direct access from the command line to that root and tree structure for the file system that we talked about. Okay? So in this file system, you are somewhere. Just like when you open, the File Explorer, you're in your home directory. Here, you must be somewhere. So the first, we call this the working directory. So we should probably be able to tell which one is our working directory. So if I type the command pwd, that's path to working directory, I see that I am in / which is the root, users, this is the directory division, but this says users and FD echo B from the root. So basically what this is saying is that if I go to my file system, Macintosh HD, and I go to users and then FD Jacobi, this is where I'm standing. My terminal window, you can't see this, but it's looking at all these things. It's in this folder, okay? So think of this as buildings in a city. Think of this as buildings in a city, and in the terminal window, you're standing here looking at all these buildings in this city, okay? Now, in the same way, let's go to Windows and type pwd, and we'll see path C:, users FD echo B. Notice the slashes in Windows go the other way as they do in Macintosh, okay? But the slashes basically separate directory names. So C users FD echo B. So here I am standing in Windows, I'm standing in C. What was it? C users FD echo B. Okay, so Jacobi. C users FD Jacobi. Right? So I am in this directory. Okay? I am in my terminal, I'm a citizen standing looking at all these things in awe. Now, of course here, I don't see all those things right away. I need to find a way to actually list those things and look to see those buildings in the city that I created, right? So on the Macintosh, as well as on the PC, you type ls, which is a shortcut for list, and you'll see all these files: applications, desktop, documents, downloads, Dropbox, movies, music, picture, etc., etc. If I type ls here, excuse me, I see in slightly different format, I see the same things. I see context, desktop, documents, again, the things that I saw on my file explorer. So for example, let's see here, context desktop, documents, downloads. Context desktop downloads and documents. Where's documents? It's probably my documents. Okay, now we'll see why some of these might have a slightly different name than they show here, but it's basically that I see my folder right here, right? And here's my folder. So I basically see these contents. Okay. Now on the Macintosh, I see applications, documents, downloads, Dropbox, and on the Mac I have applications, another one. Those are the two up on top. Documents, where's documents? Documents right here. Dropbox somewhere in here. See, so I see the same, basically the same directories. There are times in which the Windows will show slightly different names or some files that you don't see in the command line. Those files is because they're hidden from the command line, but there's a way you can actually display them. So let's look at this. So if I want to display the hidden elements, the hidden files on my Macintosh, right? So let's look at, I can say ls minus a, that will display all files, hidden and non-hidden. And look, a lot more files, okay? So if in your Macintosh you're a power user and you want to see like system files and special files, you will see all these files. If you're just a regular person, you just type ls and you'll see all the files that basically, you know, that you basically care about most of the time, okay? Similarly on Windows, okay, on the PowerShell, the commands are slightly different, but you can see ls to see all files. But then if you want to see everything, you do ls, I believe you just say hidden. Nope, ls minus attribute hidden. That shows you all the files. ls minus attribute hidden shows you a lot of files, even some special files that you don't have access to. Okay? Now notice one thing that's very important for command line. ls is the name of my command, and then there's two parameters that I pass. In here, when I did ls minus a, here's my command, and here's one parameter that I pass. I could pass more parameters. If you ever want to know how many parameters you can pass to a command, you can Google it, or you can type. There's a command that will give you the manual of all the other commands. Anyway, so that is how you list a directory. The other thing that's important is how do you navigate from directory to a directory. So in here we see that we're ps c:users. This is my path, right? Remember, we get our path to the working directory with pwd. That's my path. pwd, that's my path. On the Macintosh, and Linux looks just like the Macintosh, except that the names of the directories might be different. Now, in here, I can navigate. For example, let's navigate in here. This is FD Jacobel. Now, if I list my files, these are my files. Let's go to my folder using the command line. Basically, again, you're this guy sitting in the city. You're looking at all these buildings. Let's go into this building, my folder. You will do cd, which stands for change directory, my folder. Again, a command, and then you give that command a parameter. This command helps you change directories, and my folder is the directory you want to change to. So we hit enter, and now look at how the path changed. Users of the Jacoba my folder. If I do pwd, that's what I get. That's the path. Pwd is the working directories where I'm right now. Okay. In a similar fashion here, you know, let's do list, and we can go to cd projects, because I have a directory called projects, or even better, public HTML. Public HTML. And now, where am I? pwd tells you I'm in users fd echo bay public HTML. If you want to go to the root directory, on Mac you will say cd / and you are, as you can see, there's nothing. It's just a division of directories. That means you're in root. On Windows, you do the same thing on PowerShell, cd / and look, you're in C now. You're in the root. Okay? This is how you navigate directories and how you list the contents of directories. There's a lot more in these options. So for example, I encourage you to explore some of the options. So if I type list to see what's in here, I can also do this. List all the files. So for example, I'm going to go to my home directory. On my downloads directory, I've downloaded a bunch of things. cd down, and here's a shortcut that works both on Windows and PC. If I type the first few letters of the directory and then I hit tab, it auto-completes. So if I go to the downloads and I do ls, I get a bunch of files. Look how many files are there. Okay, I've downloaded a lot of stuff over the years. So, but what I want to do is I want to list the things that I've downloaded recently. So what I can do, there's a few commands. I would do ls minus, and then I do sorted by time in reverse, so basically the most recent at the bottom, right? Which basically, it will print this list, but sort it from most recent to least recent, and now in reversed. So the most recent is going to be here at the bottom. Again, look at these words. Sorted from most recent to the oldest, from newest to oldest, but then in reverse. That means that the newest is going to be at the bottom. And then I can see that these are my latest downloads, so it's easy to find them very quickly, even easier than, it's the same as going to here, going Macintosh hard drive, users, my directory, then downloads, which is somewhere in here, downloads, and then here I'll just say sort by date added. Okay, and here are the files. I just got that with one command. They're here. Once you get used to seeing this, it's just very easy. You can do the same thing in Windows. Okay, now you see how the command line, if I know the commands, I can do some things a lot quicker than I can do them on the graphical interface. I'm not advocating you drop the graphical interface. It's great for many things, just like the terminal. I'm just giving you an extra tool. Explore the commands pwd, cd, and ls.